Okay, so I didn't really think this through. I decided to tie myself up, or I got my girlfriend to tie me up. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I decided to tie myself up so I can show you guys what I would do if I was tied up and was not able to get out. Okay, I actually have a really bad itch on my nose right now, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna cure it. So I'm gonna try a couple of things. So my hands are tied here, as you can see. So I'm gonna try to see like maybe if I'm like flexible enough, I can like reach around myself, and I don't think I can. So that's pretty tight. Okay, so if I was stuck in this position, what would I do? Okay, so a lot of people they feel it like almost impossible to get up. I would get my knees as close as I could to me, and then I'd roll onto my knees, and then I can get up like that. Now, being able to move when you're locked up is very important if you're ever locked up. So let's learn a couple things. So the number one thing I would like get comfortable with is getting on your knees, and a lot of people can't get on their knees. So I'd recommend learning how to use your toes to lean back and get up. This is very important. Obviously, I have stronger quads and calves than some people, but I'm very average, so most people can do this. If you point your toes, then you can lean back. If you can't do this position, I highly recommend being able to do it. It's just very, very comfortable. If you can't do it, just start stretching it out. And yeah, as you can see, being able to move around with your knees is probably the most important. Number two is getting your hips. You see my hips? Getting them directly over my feet, no matter what. So like my hips are right over my feet, my knees are in front of me, and my head's above my hips. And this creates balance. If I put my head forward, it's okay. As you can see, I can put my head pretty forward and still not fall. And this happens because my hips are fine. But the moment I pull my hips forward and my head forward, I hit my knees. So that's why you get a lot of impact in your knees when you're just going straight down. So I recommend getting really good at this position right here, which I'm just gonna call the tiptoe squat, okay? So the tiptoe squat, you wanna be able to lower your hips as low as you can and be able to lower your knees slowly so that there's no hitting, no boom. I'm trying not to make too much noise because I'm an upstairs neighbor right now. But you get the idea. You don't want too much force going into your knees. So try to go slowly. And this is just step number one. Okay, so step number two is understanding how to, when you're falling forward, this is a very dangerous move. I can't use my hands and I can't use my feet to stop. So if I fall forward, what do you think is gonna happen? Let's find out. Oh God. See, I naturally don't want to do that, right? So again, I don't want to make too much noise, but you get the idea. Oh, I would get a lot of like, bam, like there'd be a lot of gravity being pulled down on me. So I hit my chest really hard on the floor. I can even hit my face on the floor. And now I'm stuck in a very undesirable position. So a lot of the things that I recommend in this position is learning how to pull your arms to the side and then kind of rolling to the other. Learning how to do this swivel motion so that you can roll around. Now, I don't recommend rolling onto your hands like so. Let me move over. So I don't recommend being directly on top of your hands. It hurts a lot. So I recommend putting it on the side and resting on top of your forearm. That'd be very comfortable. Unless you're on a bed or something, then you'd probably put your hands under you, be a little more comfortable. Being able to lift your legs is very important. Being able to lift it back is very important. Getting up on your upper back and your shoulders. And see, I don't have enough room here, but even if I bend my knees, I can still get around, as you can see. So when you're in these positions, you got to understand like where your legs are. So again, good positioning is getting your hands on its side and allowing yourself to kind of rock and roll. And you can keep rolling pretty far and pretty fast. You'd be pretty annoying as a hostage rolling around like that. Number two, you can use your hands to support you. If you've ever done like a crab, like see I'm using my fists, for example. I can get into a crab position. These are like hip thrusts that you do when you're working out, for example. And this would allow you to normally be able to do like back rolls and stuff, but your hands are in the way. So doing a back roll, you're gonna break your hands back here. I recommend pulling it to the side, and then you can pull your legs up, pull your feet all the way back till you touch the floor. As you can see, I have a lot of mobility here with my arms, and I can just put my knees down, pull my head to the side, and I go up. And yeah, it's pretty important to know how to fall forward. So to fall forward, I'd recommend just getting, again, there's different ways to do it. So there's the worm, which I would recommend putting one leg in front of the other, pulling your hips in front of you like so. And to make this not like have any impact, you have to arch your back. If you don't arch your back, you're gonna slam. So I'm gonna pull my hips forward, arch. Oh! Now, as you can see, there's impact, but not as much impact as there could be if I just boom straight down. Now, what would I do if I was in this position as well? Well, I can wiggle into this position, get my knees under, and then lift up. That's also an ideal way to get up. And then a lot of people don't know how to jump, like be able to jump up onto their feet from a kneeling position, right? So we're gonna go from kneeling up, back, right? Now when your feet are back and you can't open your hips, this becomes almost impossible. Like literally, it becomes almost impossible. Unless you have like a lot of force, like coming back, you pull forward, you see? Oh, see, then you can roll into it. Dang, I'm a really bad upstairs neighbor. But you get the idea. Again, my legs are tied and my hands are tied, but I'm able to maneuver. Now, how am I able to do that? Well, even if they were like extremely strapped together, for example, if my quads were held together, this would be even harder to move. So hopefully it's just the hands and you can just get out. Yeah, as you can see, if you have some flexibility, you can kind of just move around without worrying, as you can see. So again, this is just so important to be able to go kneeling over hip. You can lay down, you can roll back. You get here, again, leaning in, boom, kneeling, and into your toe squat. So again, being able to squat and jump is extremely important also. And that's why I'm able to catch myself, because I've practiced this movement before. So it's just, my legs can handle this movement. And then of course, you can inchworm. You can use different parts, like kind of like a skateboard, if you will. Like you put your feet down, you lift your knees, you place your knees down, you lift your feet down, knees. And a lot of these movements are what breakdancers use in order to not hurt their knees when they're doing all these crazy movements. Now again, you want to be very, very cautious when you're trying anything where you're bound, because if you fall wrong, you can't catch yourself. So just be really careful. Yeah, those are the 3 simple rolls. So let's go over, like, do a review. So, all right. So a quick review. You need to know how to do rolls going forward, such as so. Put your head down, boom. And then you get the back roll going backwards. That was a straight back roll. I would recommend a shoulder side roll. Boom, right over here to the side. As you saw, my head went to the side. I'll do it this way. Whoa. And then back. Boom. Okay, so rolls are very important. Learning the back roll again and forward roll are very important to get over the like toppling feeling. And then of course you go to the side. So to go to the side, again, there's different ways. The way that I showed was getting into from your toe squat to kneeling, get your hip down, and then you can roll off to the side. And the same thing up, kneeling here, you're up. You can shimmy using your hands. Again, you can do the crab walk, right? This is really hard. I don't recommend this, but you can inch walk as well. So these are like all different ways that you can use to maneuver if you really, really need to. Now, if you were to, see, I started getting loose. That's not, no one would actually allow you to get away like that. But let's say your hands are just free. Being able to have freedom in your feet, like having two legs, basically allows for infinite mobility. So you can fall over, you can roll, right? You can get this way. You can even do like kip-ups and stuff. Let's see. Whoa. Well, maybe not. So as you saw, I taught you how to get out of the chains and how to get out of different maneuvers and positions, especially on the floor. But there's different obstacles that you can get over as well, which we can go over if you really want to. But if you enjoyed that video, leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know what I should try next. Again, unlock your hip mobility. Please, everyone should be trying these things. Boom. And don't be an upstairs neighbor like me.